everyone, welcome back to my channel. Another day, another transphobic ad going around on YouTube. For some reason, they always advertise on my channel. Like, sweetie, wrong demographic. A lot of you have been messaging me and saying, oh my God, have you seen this new transphobic ad? I just saw it on your channel before one of your videos. You should do a reaction to it. So who would I be? What kind of reaction queen would I be if I didn't do a reaction to this video that y'all are so adamantly requesting? Is that a proper use of that word? Adamantly requesting? I'm just gonna say it is, it's fine. In today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to a video titled, How Modern Equality Comes at Women's Expense. It's from a YouTube channel called Alliance Defending Freedom. And as we're about to learn today, they're not actually about defending freedom. They're about defending their right to discriminate against people that they don't like. So I am not a fan, to say the least. I post new videos here on my channel every Monday and Thursday. So if you guys are not yet subscribed and you would like to be, go ahead and do that right now. I'll wait for you. Are you done? Thank you very much. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to keep us up to date with me as possible. And also I have a Patreon, so if you guys like the work that I do here on my channel and you want to donate, the link for that is down below as well. I feel like I'm getting so fast at saying my little intro part. I feel like one of those old TV ads. It's like, call now to get this and this and this, and make sure that you are 18 or older to order. Also, before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by Function of Beauty. Thank you so much, Function of Beauty. We'll talk about them a little bit later. But yeah, with no further ado, brace yourselves for today's transphobic advertisement. Let's get into it. So like I said, this is the video that we're going to be reacting to today. It's titled, How Modern Equality Comes at Women's Expense. So I don't know if I've reacted to a video from this channel before, but I've reacted to similar type channels before, you know, just like the most transphobic, conservative, right-wing, anti-women's rights, all that kind of stuff channel you could find, in my opinion, that is. But yeah, they have a lot of claims going on in this video, so we're just going to get right into it, okay?
Should a school-aged girl or a grown woman be forced to give up her privacy in a locker room because a biological man identifying as a woman wants to change there? Should a shelter serving women who have survived rape, sex trafficking, and domestic violence be forced to allow biological men to sleep side by side with these women?
They got more claims. I'm just gonna stop it already because, like, I got things to say, okay? Alliance Defending Freedom, I have things to say. First of all, the terminology is so obviously trying to frame these questions in a way that makes you think it's like an obvious answer. Like, of course we shouldn't have men in women's locker rooms. Like, of course not. But if you're familiar with the actual debates, you would know that when they say biological men or even just men, they're actually referring to transgender women or transgender girls even, because we're talking about high school sports. So far for these first two questions, and you know, honestly throughout the whole entire video, they're really playing off the assumption that all trans women are predators and all trans women are a threat to cisgender women. When in reality, we all know that's not the case. There is literally no data that shows that trans women are a threat. However, there is data that actually shows that trans women are often the targets of harassment, often the targets of sexual abuse and assault. There have been numerous cases of trans women literally dying after being refused shelter at a women's shelter, and transgender people actually have the highest risk of being sexually assaulted throughout the entire homeless population. Trans students also have a much higher risk of being sexually assaulted or sexually harassed in schools than their cisgender peers. A study titled Injustice at Every Turn, a report of the National Transgender Discrimination Survey, found that 12% of transgender youth report being sexually assaulted in K-12 settings by peers or educational staff, and 22% of homeless transgender individuals were assaulted while staying in shelters. So in my opinion, this whole transphobic illusion of a lack of privacy is not as important as protecting people that are actually being victimized in these places.
Should faith-based adoption providers be shut down for following their conviction that the best environment for each child includes a mother and a father in a committed and stable marriage?
Let me just translate this real quick. What should we call them? I need like a name to say them. ADF? Can we just say ADF? ADF, do you mean to ask, should agencies that discriminate against gay people face consequences for discrimination? Because the answer to that is yes. Like, I'm so sorry, your religious conviction that gay parents aren't as suited for parenthood as straight parents, like, it just doesn't matter to me because that's not what the science says. Sorry. The bottom line is that science shows that children raised by two same-gender parents do as well on average as children raised by two different gender parents. So I don't care. You're just wrong. I think that if agencies discriminate against gay people, they should face consequences. Like, the answer is yes. Before we continue, I want to take a quick little moment to talk about today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Function of Beauty, so thank you so much, Function of Beauty. Function of Beauty is a company that allows you to create customized hair care products that are suited directly to what your hair needs. You fill out a quiz on their website and you give the profile of what your hair is, the goals that you are looking to see, and they create a product customized for you. As for goals, you can pick up to 5, and the 5 that I chose were anti-frizz, curl definition, deep condition, hydrate, hydrate and replenish hair. Not to mention how cute are the bottles. I got to customize the fragrance that I wanted, the color, shampoo, and conditioner that I wanted, and I even got to put my name on the bottle. I moved my hair to the front just so you guys could see it. Look how cute, look how nice, look how defined. What I was most looking for was some really good curl definition and a lot of hydration and moisturization to get my hair to look as healthy and luscious as possible. I've been using the shampoo, conditioner, and leave-in treatment for about a month now. I would use just like a random shampoo and conditioner that I found at the drugstore. I struggled a lot with my hair being very weighed down. I struggled a lot with getting my curls to be very defined. And after the first day or two after washing my hair would just get super, super frizzy and knotted. I used to have a lot of flatness up here, and as you can tell now, like, she's curly. When I was buying those random products, I feel like they had a lot of silicones, and especially for my hair type, it just really was weighing down my hair a lot. So when I got the Function of Beauty products that actually selected paraben-free, sulfate-free, silicone-free, all that kind of stuff, I've noticed that my hair is a lot lighter feeling, it's a lot more bouncy, and my curls actually stay for more than like a day. In addition to them being paraben and sulfate-free, they're actually free of GMOs, toxins, and they're also 100% vegan and cruelty-free. So yeah, if you're interested in getting your own customized hair care from Function of Beauty, you can actually click on the link in my description and save 20% on your first order. Thank you so much, Function of Beauty, for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get right back into this transphobic advertisement.
Should a biological male who believes he is female be allowed to compete against women and girls in female sports, depriving female athletes of a level playing field and countless opportunities to win and even earn college scholarships?
I am not even gonna talk about this right now. I have so many videos on the reality of being a trans athlete and what they actually have to go through and whether or not it's fair or unfair. So I'm just gonna link those videos down below, okay? Just check those out. I don't have the time to go into it again. I mean, I do have the time, but I just truly do not feel like it. Like, they're not gonna listen anyways.
Despite its appealing name, the Equality Act poses an unprecedented threat to women, children, free speech, and religious freedom. At its core, the act ignores what science tells us about the differences between men and women, leaving women and girls to pay the price in shelters, locker rooms, and on the field of play.
Here's the thing. It literally doesn't. Like, what science are you referring to? The science is not on your side. The vast majority of science, if not all science, validates a trans identity and supports non-discrimination laws like the Equality Act. Like, just say you're transphobic and move on. Don't try to make it about science because you're just wrong. Like, you're just incorrect. And if you want to bring science into it, like, cite some sources, babe.
In short, the Equality Act doesn't offer equality. It creates victims. How would the Equality Act do this? By adding gender identity and sexual orientation to federal laws like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the act seeks to impose the government's views about marriage, sex, and what it means to be male and female on the entire nation.
They're like, it's creating victims by forcing you to understand and accept trans and gay people and all this stuff. First of all, no, it doesn't. It doesn't force or impose anything on anybody. The only thing that these laws are saying is that you can't discriminate against people because they're gay or because they're trans. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is a non-discrimination law. You know that, right? They're really out here trying to be like, no, I should be allowed to discriminate against the transgenders. That's my right. Imagine being this mad. Imagine making this whole video and like advertising it across YouTube, complaining that they're broadening the Civil Rights Act, that they're including more people in the Civil Rights Act. That's embarrassing.
For starters, the Equality Act would mandate that men who identify as women be allowed to compete for spots on female sports teams, for women's scholarships, and for other academic and sports-related opportunities designed specifically for women.
This video is really trying to make it seem like trans people are these villainous people just out there to hurt women and take away women's opportunities. Trans girls just want to play the sport that they love, just like their cisgender peers. Also, the data shows that allowing them to do so has no negative impacts. Actually, it only has positive impacts. This quote from the ACLU says, "In reality, trans women and girls have been competing in women's sports at all levels around the world. Despite the hundreds, if not thousands, of trans women competing, only a handful have had any success at the high school and collegiate level." I don't know, period. Like, I don't even know what else to say.
Women competing against similarly gifted and trained males know the outcome of the race before it even starts. In 1 year, 275 high school boys ran faster times than the lifetime best of world champion sprinter Allison Felix.
We're not talking about boys here. We're talking about trans girls, who typically, as prescribed by the NCAA, have to undergo at least a year of hormone treatment, including testosterone suppression, before they're even allowed to compete. Multiple studies have shown that when trans women undergo hormone replacement therapy, especially after a year, their athletic abilities are right around the same level as their cisgender female counterparts. Again, I'll link the video down below.
The Equality Act also poses a major threat to the very existence of religious organizations like schools, charities, and even churches. For many Americans, their faith inspires them to act for the good of their neighbors and for the flourishing of society. Their faith also requires them to abide by its teachings regarding marriage, sex, and what it means to be male and female. But the Equality Act directly threatens the ability of religious organizations to serve others according to the beliefs that inspire them.
Listen, I'm not a religious person, but there are thousands of LGBT people who are religious, as well as countless religious organizations that support LGBT people because that's what they believe their religion says to do. So for this video to come out and say, well, their religion says that they have to hate trans people and they have to hate gay people, it's just not true. A few years ago when I worked in the Yes on 3 campaign to fight against those proposed bills that would allow discrimination against transgender people, churches consistently allowed us to organize there and use their spaces to promote our cause. So I'm so sorry, but I honestly do not have any sympathy for people that try to use their religion as a way to discriminate against trans people or a way to discriminate against gay people. There are so many people who are religious who follow the same religion as you that understand that you don't need to discriminate to be a religious person. This law would not make it possible to be religious. Like, no, it's not. It's just saying you can't discriminate. Like, if your religion is dependent on discrimination, ugh. That's all I'll say is, ugh.
The act would force faith-based adoption providers, for example, to violate their core beliefs by placing children in homes without a mother and a father.
That imagery? The imagery is literally trying to make it seem like this Equality Act is going to be taking away supportive families from children who need them and they're just going to be all alone. When in reality, that's what organizations who oppose the Equality Act are trying to do. ADF and the people who oppose the Equality Act and oppose allowing gay parents to adopt are the exact people advocating for rejecting potential loving and supportive parents from adopting a kid because they believe that being gay or being trans is wrong. They would rather kids be left in orphanages than be adopted by loving parents who happen to be gay.
Worse, the act could forbid nearly every religious school, charity, and church from hiring staff and leaders that share their religious views, if those views diverge from the new government orthodoxy.
AKA, the act might not allow religious institutions to hire teachers or staff who are discriminatory or who say that they will not support or accept an LGBT student's identity. Good. Fire them. Get rid of them. I don't care.
The act's devastating effects also extend to the marketplace. Just ask creative professionals like Jack Phillips or Baronel Stutzman. Both serve everyone, but cannot express all messages or participate in every event through their art. And when they politely decline to create art celebrating same-sex wedding ceremonies, their home states of Colorado and Washington hounded them with years of litigation under laws similar to the Equality Act.
As they should.
The Equality Act could multiply situations like these, imposing a nationwide version of the freedom-crushing state laws that harm people like Jack and Baronel.
Again, like good. Places of business should not be allowed to discriminate against people because they're gay or because they're trans. The Jack Phillips case and the Baronel Stutzman, I think that's her name, case, they both broke the law. Like, sorry, babe. You broke the law. They clearly discriminated against these people because of their sexuality. Jack Phillips, the cake guy, whatever, he's from Colorado, broke the Colorado non-discrimination law. It says right here, the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act makes it unlawful for a place of public accommodation to deny the full and equal enjoyment of goods and services to individuals based on certain characteristics, including sexual orientation. Baronel Stutzman's from Washington. She also broke Washington's law. The court found that Arlene's Flowers violated Washington's Consumer Protection Act and the Washington Law Against Discrimination by refusing to serve a same-sex couple seeking to buy wedding flowers in 2013. She broke the law. These freedom-crushing state laws that this ADF is referring to is anti-discrimination laws. You don't have the freedom to discriminate. I'm so sorry. Who wrote this? Are you not embarrassed?
The Equality Act imposes a belief system about marriage and human sexuality on everyone and treats reasonable people who disagree with the government's views based on decent and honorable grounds as hostile and unfit to participate in the marketplace. Our nation can and must do better.
The Equality Act does not impose any beliefs. Like, it just doesn't. If you want to believe that gay people are sinners, or you want to believe that trans women are men, You're wrong, first of all, but good for you. You do you. You can believe those things all you want, but you cannot discriminate because you believe those things. You cannot discriminate against people because they're gay. You cannot discriminate against trans people because they're trans. It's pretty simple. Alliance Defending Freedom, I think that you should maybe rename yourself Alliance Defending Discrimination, because like that's what we're talking about, right? And honestly, you probably find your target audience a bit better, because let's look at the like to dislike ratio. 5.1 thousand dislikes to 500 likes. You got a 10% approval rating on this video, sis. Okay, that is the end of that video. Thank God. 5 minutes was plenty enough. In conclusion, if you want to be a bigot, if you want to be transphobic, homophobic, any of that kind of stuff, you do you. But you do not have the right to discriminate against people because they are gay or because they are trans. These people are really out here complaining about an act called the Equality Act. They're like, no, not everybody's equal. No. Not the transgenders. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sending me this advertisement. I loved watching it. I'm just kidding. As cringy as this video is, I really do appreciate when you guys send me things that you want to see me react to. It's just so cute and I love it. If you guys have any more suggestions for a video, feel free to DM them to me on Instagram or, you know, wherever. I feel like Instagram's probably the best place to DM me. But yeah, if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Make sure to leave a comment, spread some love, spread some positivity, spread some freedom. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to go. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you Function of Beauty for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you all in Monday's video. Bye everyone.